I'm Ted at Windy Hill Farm, and welcome to our YouTube channel, The Handy Horseman. What we're going to talk about here is kind of an unfortunate thing that's happened here at the farm, and it's about wound care. When you own as many horses as we do, and you're around it as much as we are, you're going to have problems. Something's going to get cut. You're going to have wounds, and there's a gazillion different ways to handle it. And I'm just going to share with you on how we look at things and how we do it. This is a horse here named Journey. This is my wife's horse. It's a 2-year-old, probably one of the best horses we've ever had. We're just, it's always how it works. The worst horse you have, he'll live to he's 40, and the best horse you have, he's going to get a cut. Well, Journey has got a really bad cut, and there was a little fence post that had a little piece of metal sticking out of it, about 1/2 of an inch back here in the pasture. And as you would expect, one morning we go out and Journey's got a rip down her side. And so we're going to treat that, and we're going to do this in a successional way where we're going to show you before and after shots, and we hope that the after shots are as good as we expect them to be. But I think it's a good exercise for us to go through, and it's a good informative thing for everybody to see. We're the type of place, we don't call the vet every time the wind blows, and we do most of our own vet work here. On occasion we call the vet, like in this situation, I called the vet to come out to suture this wound, but if a wound has been there for over 12 hours, it really doesn't do any good to put the stitches in. So we've got a big open cut here that we're going to treat. And so what we do is we take our water hose and we spray water, clean it out, and then we've got this spray, and I'm not endorsing anybody's product specifically, but this is some kind of potion that some Amish guy makes up for my wife. And it's the old traditional, handed down for centuries, wound tonic, we'll call it. And so it's interesting, it's an herbal based where it's got flax and burdock and myrrh, lard, cayenne, gold sealed, yarrow, cal, humus, sage, wormwood, and alcohol. I've used this stuff for years, and I'll tell you this right now. If you want to treat wounds and if you want to do things properly, you go to the old school. Those guys really know what they're doing. In the cavalry days, they had horses cut and wounded terribly in battle. And so those guys, they had to know how to handle these things on the battlefield. Well, a lot of that stuff was handed down over the centuries, and it works really well. So what we're going to do is we spray this on that wound multiple times a day. We keep the flies off of it. We clean it out. We spray it with water every day, and we spray this on there. And then what I'll do is once that starts closing up, and it will, you watch here in a few days or a week, we'll take another video and it'll start closing up. And then we'll start putting olive oil on it in this. And that olive oil, that's what the Roman battle surgeons used to doctor wounds back in the Roman times. They used olive oil, and the olive oil will keep the wound from scarring, and it will keep it from growing white hair. And that's been my experience. So I hope that's going to be the case here, because like with Journey, this is, I don't know if you can zoom in there, Joyce, and look at it. That's a very bad wound right there. As bad as I've seen, okay? So what we're going to do is we're just going to let that drain. We're going to let that close up, and we're going to keep it treated. We're going to keep the flies off of it, and we'll plan to check in with you in a week.